Brittany, your social worker.
I'm Erica.
Okay, come sit with me.
All right.
Okay, so how are you doing today? You're doing great, right?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. So, how was the drive here? Did something funny happen?
Yeah. My kids, they're crazy.
Oh, how old are they?
They are 6 and 3. They're young.
That's a fun age.
Yeah. 3-year-olds, they're crazy.
But it's past the terrible twos.
That is
That's
true.
good.
Past terrible 2s, but 3s are something else.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I have kids.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have 3.
How old are they?
5, 10, and 7.
Oh, wow. Busy mom.
I know. Social work too. Okay, so Okay, so have you seeked any services before?
I went to some brief counseling at my church, but other than that, nothing really.
Oh, okay. So how did you find this agency?
One of my friends actually referred me. So
Mhm.
she came here a couple months ago, and so
Okay.
she gave me the number and the name, but I waited a little while. So I finally decided that it was probably a good idea to come try it out.
Oh, okay. And I also wanted to tell you that all of this is confidential.
Mhm.
So nothing that we're talking about here is going to leave this room,
Okay.
unless it's about harming yourself or harming anyone else.
Okay.
Okay. So, and also I wanted to ask, just why are you in here today?
So I am going through a divorce. It's kind of been a long process just because we've been separated for a while, but we just recently got the papers.
Okay.
So trying to deal with that and explaining that to my kids is kind of
It's been
a
difficult.
lot. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how long has the process been?
We separated. He didn't move out. He just moved downstairs.
Mhm.
To
I
the
get it.
basement.
Yeah.
So I know that sounds crazy, but that's what happened. So he lives downstairs in the basement, and the girls.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
The girls understand somewhat. Like the 6-year-old gets that he's obviously not living upstairs, but
Yeah.
the 3-year-old is kind of oblivious. She doesn't really.
It's probably
What's going
good that he is living downstairs.
Yeah.
So he can be with his kids too.
Right.
So is he going to move out soon?
That's the plan. We don't really. We were going to try to work it out, but I don't feel like that's gonna happen. And so I came to get counseling for things that I need to work on
Okay.
in my own life as far as the divorce goes, but I don't really have any intention of us getting back together.
Oh, okay. Oh, so what are you trying to focus on?
I want to focus on, one, coping with the situation because it's hard to go through a divorce while having kids, while having young kids, and then also my family isn't really, I don't want to say supportive, but don't believe in divorce, and so they're very strict on what they believe, and that's fine. I believe that divorce isn't the best thing either, but I think that just for our situation it's probably a good thing.
Okay, so before you guys got a divorce, how was your marriage? Just kind of like what led up to the divorce?
Yeah, so it was good. Like we had a good marriage. We we had good communication. Like we respected each other, and we got along. We went on date. We would have date nights and things like that. But after our second child was born, he just kind of didn't really care anymore. He didn't take time to think of others. He just thought of himself and would kind of go out and do his own thing. So it was kind of like he didn't have a family anymore and just kind of left me to do all the work.
Oh wow! So did you communicate with this to
Um,
about this?
well, that's one of my problems. That's one of my weaknesses is I'm not the best communicator. So I don't know. I think I was so frustrated that I was probably more so yelling at him, but he kind of deserved it. So
Okay, so what are some things that you guys would normally fight about? about? Was it just about him kind of not interacting with the family?
Yeah, he didn't interact. He didn't want to spend time with his kids, which makes zero sense to me because you're their father.
Yeah.
And then he would just, hang out with his friends. He would go out and like girls would be there. So it's like act like he's a bachelor again. And it didn't really make sense to me why that was okay in his mind. And so it was that part, and then a lot of like he would spend a ton of money when he went out. And he wouldn't like ask about it, he wouldn't consult with me. So it was basically like he could just do whatever with all of our money and then not really leave anything for the girls and I.
So when you did try to communicate with him, it just usually ended up with you yelling sometimes.
Yeah.
And how did he take that?
He would either go downstairs, he didn't really care, or he would yell back and give some sort of excuse. So.
Okay. So when you decided to have the divorce, it was mutual, or was he not really involved?
Yeah, he was kind of involved. He wasn't the one who brought it up, which I have no idea why he wouldn't be the one because he was the one acting that way. So I brought it up and he acted surprised. He got like upset for whatever reason. And he wanted to try to work it out, but I was like, there's no point. It's been going on for over a year, and then all of a sudden he wants to work on it. So I didn't really understand.
Oh, okay. Did he want to get some type of marriage counseling? Did he suggest that, or did you even think about that?
I thought about it, but I don't know. I kind of gave up on it after seeing the way that he reacted to things. Just the way that he was acting, I didn't feel like I even needed to try to be back together with him. So
yeah, so you're just very frustrated. It sounds like you're very frustrated with him.
I am. I'm frustrated and I'm annoyed.
Yeah,
really annoyed.
Do you think if he decided to, I guess, spend time with the family and was, I guess, better with finances, do you think that you would want to stay with him?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's like when somebody does something to you so many times, it's aggravating, one, and two, it's kind of like I don't see why he wouldn't do that again.
You're like, it's getting old.
Yeah.
It's just like old.
Exactly. It's like repeat. So, and I don't want my girls to grow up with that.
Yeah.
And their father being in and out or whatever he's going to do. So, yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned before that you're having a hard time just talking with your children about the divorce. Have you talked to both of them, or did you just talk to the 6-year-old?
Yeah, I just talked to the 6-year-old. She kind of brought it up on her own. I didn't want to be the one to explain it, but I figured better me than her father. So I gave her like as much information as I could. I don't know how much she's actually taking in or like understanding, but I tried to explain it the best of my ability. And then the 3-year-old, she'll say stuff every once in a while, but I don't usually bring it up with her. So
how did you explain it to the 6-year-old?
I basically, I explained to her that sometimes people just don't get along anymore, and that doesn't always mean that you have to be separate from somebody, but sometimes it's better, for all parties or all the people involved to just kind of take a break. And so I tried to explain it to her, and she like half understood and half didn't want to talk about it. So it was like I didn't feel like forcing it.
Yeah,
that's good.
So, and also you mentioned your family and how they have not been very supportive in this whole process. Have you talked with them?
No, I don't think that they'll really understand.
Okay.
And I don't feel like arguing It's just more stress, so I just leave it out.
So, is it your mom and dad who you're talking to, or not wanting to talk to about the divorce? Is that it's the specific people in your family?
Yeah, mainly. My sister, I talked to her a little bit. She's a little more understanding than my parents are. Um, but I think that she didn't really like him to begin with, so he was kind of already, out of her mind anyway. So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
Oh, okay. So, do you think that you will start to talk to them, like as it goes on, you're gonna, I guess, open up to them more?
I want to be able to, but I just I'm too tired of
Just everything.
just like arguing and like trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong and all this stuff. And like my parents, I think, are more concerned with the kids
Yeah.
rather, than me. And so it's kind of like, I can only do so much.
You may want to consider just going to group counseling with your family and with your kids. That may be helpful.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that before?
I thought about it for my girls. I didn't really think about my parents, but that could be a good idea because they're one of my main support systems aside from my husband. So.
Yeah, and you will be the one that has custody over your children. Have you talked to him about just how that's going to work out, like them visiting him and visiting you?
No. I don't want my girls visiting him just because I feel like he's been a bad dad to them. So I haven't brought it up with him. And he's on this rant about not getting a divorce. So he doesn't want to talk about it.
Okay.
So it hasn't really been brought up in conversation.
Okay. Do you think you're going to bring it up?
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I guess if it got to that point, but I don't want to talk about it. So.
Okay. And also, I know you're talking about coping, like some of the reasons that you've come to counseling is just to learn how to cope with the whole situation. Have you found, I guess, different outlets to cope?
I used to go to church a lot, and I used to be involved in my girls' school, like with the things that they did at school, and obviously I work full time right now, and so I kind of had to stop doing the other things once it was only me taking care of them because when I had the opportunity to do that because he could watch the other girl while I was taking this one to practice, or he could do this while I'm out working with them. So it's kind of.
So is there not as much communication anymore? Are you guys just like not talking?
Yeah, I don't really try to talk to him that much. He doesn't really come upstairs either, which I don't want him to. So good for him. But he just like he does his thing and I do my thing and I take the girls where they need to go. So I don't really need his help.
You need his help. Okay. Do you think it would be helpful though if he did help you out?
Probably. I think I'm just I don't like to ask him for help because he'll use it as like a against me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Saying that I wouldn't be able to be a single mom anyways because I need him for too much or he supports me and everything, whatever. So I just don't really want to give him reasons. So.
Yeah, do the girls ask questions like why is dad not helping out more? Or why is dad not, I guess, more involved?
My 6-year-old does sometimes. I mean, he used to go to a lot of her school stuff and like sporting events and things like that. And he just, he doesn't do that anymore. So she asked a few questions and she'll ask every once in a while, but I think that usually when we get home, she'll ask him instead of me. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He doesn't ever have a good answer.
So, will he be moving out soon?
Hopefully. I think once the divorce starts to kind of go through and process, that he probably will. I told him that he had to be out of my house by the end of the month, but we'll see how that goes.
So will he be living around the area, like in the same area, to be with the girls?
I don't know. We haven't talked about it.
Oh, okay. So also, you're talking about with coping. Have you found any other outlets yet?
No, I haven't really been searching. I think that, I talked to my one friend who
Okay.
referred me here, and she's kind of going through the same thing. So she's given me some suggestions,
That's awesome.
but I don't really want to do any of them.
Oh.
So,
What kind of suggestions has she been giving you?
she plays tennis in her neighborhood with a bunch of other moms, so she was invited me to come to that. She's invited me to come to church, like her small group or whatever. She's invited me. She has like a book club, but I don't like that, so I don't want to go. So basically, everything she's offered me, I've told her that I would try it one day, but not today. So I don't know.
Oh, okay. So do you think that you'll want to come in here for more counseling? Because I can be your counselor. So, would you want to come in for, I guess, some more times that we can talk about it, and also, like with your children, you can also bring your children here too.
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful because I don't have a lot of people who listen and understand. So
Okay.
I would like that.
Yeah. Okay, so do you need need any services? I was going to ask you this before. Did you need any I guess financial services or anything?
No, I think right now we're good as long as he doesn't take all my money.
Okay.
So yeah.
It was nice talking to you.
All right, and then we're gonna meet same time next week.
Yeah, we can meet the same time next week.
Okay.
And hopefully traffic is great. And
Hopefully I'll be on time.
okay.
So we'll see.
It
It was
awesome.
nice to meet
Yes,
you.
nice meeting you
Thank
too.
you so much, and I'll see you next week.